Greetings, everyone. Thank you, in fact, to join us. I'm delighted to present this today's webinar, where we will delve into the new features of Orbit Intelligence that make this tool unique if you want to perform a professional patent search. So you have been a lot, in fact, to register to this webinar. So it's even a better pleasure, in fact, to today do this presentation. My name is Benoît Chevalier. I'm the Patent Project Director at Questel. It's been now 10 years. I'm working at Questel. Before that, I was an IP consultant in a consulting firm in France, a spin-off of the Atomic Research Center, where I carried out a lot of patentability search, landscape, white space analysis, and some licensing action. But today, my job is really, in fact, to manage the teams in charge to design the future of the SaaS product at Questel. And today, we will, of course, focus on Orbit Intelligence. So the agenda will be straightforward. We will first talk about Sophia because it's part of a new initiative we have internally, and the first, I will say, derivative work of Sophia is Sophia Query. Then we will spend a lot of time, or a bit of time, on why, in fact, Orbit Intelligence is so powerful, talking about the data and the domain expertise. We will also show you, in fact, how Orbit Intelligence right now with the new features is spinning up, in fact, the review of the patent, and we will reach a conclusion with some Q&A. But let's start with, in fact, the first part of my presentation. And in this introduction, I will just use, in fact, this quote. I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing, not for an AI to do my art and writing so I can do my laundry and dishes. So this quote is from Joanna Mashinska, and it circulated a lot on the web last year. And I choose, in fact, to show it today because the first I read it, I found it quite enlightening because it illustrated perfectly my feeling around the turmoil of the generative AI. Because if you look back to the past 2 years, we have seen, in fact, and read a bit everything about generative AI for the patent industry. We have read that you can, for example, be a professional licensing officer for less than $100 a year, that you have the possibility to search for free everything with the best quality, or that you can file a patent for in less than 30 minutes. So even if all these videos were most to provoke and illustrate what this disruption could be, in fact, for the IP industry, it has also created a lot of fear and mistrust. So now that we are moving away from the explosion, and even if the dust has not yet completely settled, because we see that every week we have new announcements about how model can reason and provide incredible benefit to anyone. We can see that what really matter are the use cases and the will of the software companies to put their customers and users in the best working condition. So of course, innovation is destructive, as Schumpeter said. But it is not there to destroy the notion of work or effort. Life doesn't like the shortcut. So I would say it's our choice, us as supplier at Questel and you as customers, to take the path that suits us the best. So that's why at Questel, we want to welcome what we have called Sophia. This is our new brand, and even I will say an embodiment to inform all our users that they are going to use a generative AI powered feature. So we chose this name because it reflects how we have approached the use of generative AI with wisdom and balance, taking our time to present what will really matter for our users, who are all IP professionals, caring about their expertise, their value, and the patent with all that this represents for current societies. And the first, in fact, representation of Sophia is Sophia Query. Sophia Query is now in production in Orbit Intelligence. You will see that in the next slide what it is. But it's just also the first, in fact, development made under the umbrella of Sophia. After Query, we're going to have also Sophia Search, Sophia Analyze, Sophia Document. So a lot of, in fact, of use case where generative AI will be used to help you to speed up a process or to make your life more simple. And Sophia Query, in fact, is a brand that will spread in all our other software suite, from Orbit, but also to Equinox, to Markify, to Inozabi. It's really, in fact, to inform you that right now you are using an AI-powered features. So really to be transparent. Now, Sophia Query. Sophia Query is really to speed up the query creation. So it means, in fact, when you have right now to create a search query, you may have this feeling of wasting your time because you have to think about all the synonyms to identify maybe some specific fields, IPC, CPC. So with a query builder like Sophia Query, quickly you can start with a good basis that's going to work and speed up the moment where you create your first Boolean search query. It is also sometimes a waste of time to understand why a search doesn't work. So you will see also in the demos that Sophia Query can help you to correct, in fact, a Boolean search query that is wrong and not runnable. And also, we need also to think to our newcomers, patent analysts, searchers that are starting with Orbit Intelligence. So we want to make the first level of expertise accessible. And by that, because in Orbit Intelligence, if you want to be powerful, you need to master, in fact, a Boolean search query. We have developed Sophia Query to help them to see how to create a search query and move forward with it. So now what it looks like. So Sophia Query is now available. Every time you see this icon, you will know that it's in access to Sophia, and in this case, Sophia Query. It's a chatbot. It's a chatbot that uses OpenAI API. It's a chatbot, so it means you're gonna interact with it. You will gonna, in fact, put information, and after, based on exchange of question and answer, you will in fact refine the output provided by the chatbot. So let's start, for example, with a simple sentence. In cosmetics, I want to find patents using polyurethane as a polymer to be used as a cushion or a puff. Sophia Query will take this information, extract and understand extract the main concept and understand the semantic behind it. And what it's going to do, it will propose first some synonyms. So here for polyurethane, but also for cushion or puff. But also identify some IPC classes that are relevant to the topic and provide a Boolean search query that is runnable. But of course, as I said, it's interactive. It's Q&A. So you can, of course, add anything you want after that. If you want to correct something, you can, for example, ask to remove a concept or a keyword. But if you want, for example, to focus on only a live patent and only patents that have been published in Europe, you just have to ask Sophia Query, and in fact, the chatbot will modify the search query based on your instruction. So it means you can really take time to, in fact, develop something that's going to work before even run the first search query. And you can use, in fact, Sophia query to, for example, do some tasks that are sometimes very complicated, like finding all the synonyms or antonyms or things like that. And also, what is nice is that you can even use Sophia query, when I said, to correct, in fact, a Boolean search query. So you can imagine sometimes you can be a bit overwhelmed by the complexity of the Boolean search query you have just created. So here, for the webinar, I've created a search query with some mistake. So for example, I added an additional parenthesis here, and you see I've made a mistake here. I in fact removed the dash, so there is no separation between the field claims and SA. So I'm just asking Sophia query to correct the Boolean search, and you will see that automatically it will provide me with a search query that is runnable, corrected for Orbit Intelligence. So here you see the parenthesis has been removed, and I've got, in fact, my dash between claims and the field SA. And also, Sophia query is really focused on what is important for you. So it means if I say what is the capital of France, that's not a question related to patents. So basically, Sophia query will say no. I'm not here, in fact, to inform you about public knowledge. I'm here to create a search query. So now you have understand that we have done our first step, I will say, in the world of generative AI, the chatbot. It is just the beginning, because a lot of other Sophia features will be released this year. I will just spend also sometimes to talk about what also make Orbit Intelligence super special, because Orbit Intelligence needs to be used when it really matters. Well, today you have access to a lot of tools, I would say, to read or to get information of the patent. But what makes really Orbit Intelligence unique is the data and the domain of expertise. And when I say domain of expertise, that it's been now 40 years that we know how to search and review and even leverage patent information. Why? Because we have more than 100,000 unique users that are working with us today. So when I say we are unique, it comes first with the data. Data needs to be large, geographically speaking, but also time-wise speaking. So you need to have a lot of authorities, to have a lot of full text. But in this full text, you need also to link that with citations, to add also complementary data like licensing data, designs, or non-patent literature. All this data need also to be improved, enhanced, classified. So we have also algorithm to classify it, to extract information directly from the full text. All that is turned sometimes into metrics. We have the legal status, where we spend a lot of time to find the good sources, to really, in fact, also categorize according to the information provided by the database. And even, in fact, the assignee and how you, in fact, get the corporate tree. All that is a lot of work done by our data team to make the data, in fact, covering all the worldwide activity when it comes to patent, but also even beyond, by providing, in fact, enriched information. But this data, when it's combined with our Boolean search engine, which is also quite unique, because we have this particularity to really combine proximity operators, truncation, in a way that is extremely complicated and complex sometimes. You see, I put it here. Take a screenshot. You can try with, in fact, some of your existing tool. Carry out this kind of Boolean search query, where, in fact, you mixed the fact it's a proximity operator between state and charge, and you have all these alternative possibility with the Boolean operator OR, and adding also truncation, that's not something that is easy and done by most of our competitors. And what makes you unique is we combine this powerful Boolean search engine with our unique data set and database. That's why, in fact, when you run a search for a freedom to operate patentability with Questel, you get accurate data and you can be pretty sure that you are not missing anything. But of course, that's a continuous and endless work. So for example, the past year, we have added close to 90,000 new full text documents. For all this jurisdiction, you see, we have also collecting all the PDF. In addition to that, we also get from new bibliographic data to covering, in fact, new type of authorities. So again and again, while the world is digitalizing, while the patent offices are now more and more, in fact, advanced in their way to provide information, we enrich our patent database to make sure, in fact, you have the most complete patent database in the world. And we go beyond. So I told you, we try to enrich with more information, but we're also looking for new type of data to complete, in fact, the raw patent data. And SCP is key for the patent industry because it translates the value that a patent can deliver, and it always makes headlines. So that's why we have seen recently that the European Commission withdrawing its controversial SCP regulation, or the fact that the UPC popularity is soaring on this matter. So having the SCP data in orbit intelligence makes totally sense. But to go beyond that also, you need, in fact, to not just have the declared information, but also to have, in fact, information that provide right away value. And that's why we have at Questel manually assessed the essentiality of more than 35,000 patent families. So it means for 4G and 5G standard, we have some of experts that have read the patent, read the standard, and put an opinion in regard of the essentiality that will be automatically displayed in orbit intelligence. You can see here, we present, in fact, the status, we explain why we think it's essential, and we even, in fact, provide the information of the standard that proves that it is essential. So right now we are focusing on telecom standards, but you may have heard that recently Nokia signs up Samsung for a video codec deal. We have Huawei deal with Amazon about a long dispute around Wi-Fi 6 and other derivative patent. So that's why also very soon we will release the Wi-Fi 6 essential patent. So here it's even more interesting. It means we don't just focus on the declared patent. We have, in fact, identified all patents that are related to Wi-Fi, and we have also used manual work to identify if a patent is essential in regard of the Wi-Fi standard. So this SP module is right now possible to be activated for orbit intelligence. So enough about data. Now talking about domain expertise. In fact, talking about data is good, but we know that what a patent searcher or an analyst need, because in fact we have been in contact with them. I told you that. So we have just released new features to search ranges of measure among patents. So we have coded to identify 159 units organized in 40 types, just to make sure that you will carry out an accurate search. And it's even possible, in fact, to add keywords to provide more context to improve, in fact, your information. So what it means when I demo it? Let's run our previous search. It will provide, in fact, data, and it will help, in fact, to see that I've got several patterns on a subject here. Let's say, in fact, I really want to focus, because right now I'm looking for, in the cosmetics, polyurethane, but polyurethane is a polymer, and let's say I'm in freedom to operate. I want to release a cushion, and the size of the pore of the urethane polymer is super important. Well, so I'm gonna go to the advanced search. I'm gonna, in fact, trigger, in fact, the measurement module. Here we're gonna get access to all the types of or categories of measures that are available in Orbit. I would choose the length because right now I want, for example, that the size of the pore are under 70 micrometer. So I will select that I want inferior. I will choose my unit. It's micrometer, and I will say I want it to be inferior to 70 micrometer. And you see, normally it's like that. You can add additional keywords. So in my case, I will add that we need to have this unit and this measure close to the keyword pore and size. And I will launch my search. So here basically we will do that for all the patent database. But what I'm going to do, in fact, is I will combine, in fact, the results of my search with my search with Sophia query with, in fact, measurement search. So basically, I will do a combination. I will run it here, and I will find that right now I've got just 6 results where I've got in cosmetics a puff using polyurethane, where in fact the size of the pore are under 70 micrometers. And now, in fact, I can start my review because I've got a set that is relatively small. One, for example, patent really attract my capture my attention. This one. So again, I will use now new features that will help me to speed up the review. And it's going to be done by also generative AI or AI algorithm. So the first thing, for example, here, I've got a drawing. I can easily, in fact, display the labels related to this drawing. So I can go from one drawing to another and directly see what is recognized behind the reference signs. Even if I really focus on this patent, let's say the description, I can after use the label to quickly see where, in fact, in the description, the reference sign definition has been used to quickly read a paragraph that is or that will help me, in fact, to understand better the drawing. If I go back to the list also and I check the preview, I can notice that I've got different also patent members in this family. One is a US granted, another one is a European granted. So what also could be important is to explain that, okay, I want to check, to compare the difference between the US patent and the European patent, and just compare it. So you see in red you have what was included in the granted US patent and not more in the European one. And in green you have what is added by the European patent compared to the US one. So you see that some of the dependent claims has been removed in the European granted patent. You see also, in fact, some, I will say, differences in the sentences and even something that has been added. But if I want to also speed up, in fact, the review, I can click on AI Insight. And right away, in fact, a large language model, in fact, will use these two texts and provide a global summary. What are the applications for these two documents? But, and what is interesting, explain the commonalities and the differences. And this is where, in fact, you can check that the US patent includes more details, but the European one focuses more on the structural aspect, such as division and inner skin and so on. So it's really, in fact, the kind of features where AI can just be there to assist you, to, I will say, speed up where you need to focus, to after, in fact, reallocate your time on what matters. So it means right now, the interpretation of all that, instead of exporting, importing, create something in the Word, try to check one document side of the other. So here, everything is prepared, easy, accessible to quickly be more productive on what matters. So really, to speed up the patent review, we have now, in fact, these two features, the image link and the patent comparator. They are in production. You can use it. And again, it's fully because at Questel, we understand what it is to search patent, and we provide, in fact, new features where AI don't replace you, but fully just bring you the last mile to be productive. And now I'll say something that is also completely new. We have, in fact, made a partnership with 𝐎𝐵𝐿𝐴. And today I'm glad to announce that Orbit Intelligence could be connected to 𝐎𝐫𝐻𝐢, the tool of 𝐎𝐵𝐿𝐴 dedicated to the patent attorneys. So it means from 𝐎𝐫𝐻𝐢, you can access to the Orbit Intelligence work file. From the Orbit Intelligence work file, in fact, an importation will be done. So you can, in fact, import all the documents, let's say, done during a prior art study or a state of the art. And this document after will be used by the patent attorney to directly, in fact, carry out some use case. So with 𝐎𝐶, you can answer automatically office action. You can do claim charting. You can also categorize and extract the information of a set of documents. And here you see, because the documents are available, extracted from Orbit Intelligence, you have the user using a prompt library where you have prompt already prepared to provide a summary, to extract what is the novelty or the advantage and benefits of an patented invention. And all these, I will say, powerful features are now accessible directly for the patent attorney. So it creates like a link between the patent analyst and the patent searcher doing his work on intelligence and forward after the results of their work to the patent attorney. The patent attorney, for a specific prosecution, will be able to use this data to carry out other use case like this one. So it's brand new. It's so brand new that it's going to be available next month. This connection between Orbit and 𝐎𝐫𝐛𝐢𝐭. And I will say, in fact, you will see more and more connection between our tools, between Orbit, 𝐎𝐿, Equinox, which is our patent management, intellectual property management system, because we want, in fact, that every people working within or with an IP department can work together, connected with their own software. So now, just a reminder, at 𝐎𝐻𝐿, we have this direction to provide integrated end-to-end IP solutions. So it means during all the patent lifecycle, we want to provide software and services to help you. So of course, it includes, in fact, Orbit Intelligence as a patent search and analytics tool, but also we have, in fact, management system. We have, in fact, tools to help you to manage your invention disclosure, to, in fact, help you with the prosecution and generating responses. We even have tools, in fact, to help you with the drafting. So if you need help, 𝐎𝐻𝐿, of course, will have the solution. And to start wrapping up this webinar, I will just make a difference between three main concepts in AI. You have tools that are AI first. So it means the software is completely built around artificial intelligence. Without AI, the tool is useless. After, you have AI augmented tools. So it means it really allows the tool to carry out things that were completely impossible before. So it's really, in fact, to augment, to expand the human capabilities with the tool. And you have AI assisted tool. So it means it's a tool that in itself works very well. But because we put AI in it, we create, in fact, an improvement that will make, in fact, the work of the user easier, better, to at the end get results that are more, I'll say, based on informed decision. And this is really where Orbit Intelligence right now is. That's the category. We have an AI assisted tool. So conclusion, at 𝐎𝐻𝐿, yes, we do AI, but just not anyhow. It means we try to choose carefully the use case where AI will provide really a benefit for our users. We welcome Sophia. So as I said, Sophia will be our new brand for generative AI features. Right now, just the beginning, but this year we'll focus to speed up the search and the review with image links, the measurement search, with the patent comparator. That's just the beginning. More and more, we will provide AI or not, new features that can help you for these two use case of your journey. We really want also doing complex thing more simpler. That's really our mantra right now in the product team, just to make sure that what you think was complex before can now be done easily, to really reallocate all your energy and your focus on something else. And of course, 𝐎𝐻𝐿 continues to connect tools with his own tool, but also his services, or to partner with, in fact, companies that also, just like us, provide a lot of value. So that's the end of this webinar. I hope it has been quite instructive for you. Now I will start with some Q&A session. I see a lot of questions has been asked, so I don't know if I will have time to everything. So let's go one by one. And So a lot is code use shows a feature label image. When can see measurement feature in our database. So the measurement search is right now, in fact, in beta version. So you can all test the measurement search in a beta version. So as a reminder, if you want to access to the beta version of Orbit Intelligence, because all of you have access to a beta, it's betaqs.orbit.com. It means, I will show you again here. That's the URL, betaqs.orbit.com, and you just need to use after your credential. And it's going to be in production in 1 month. We always, in fact, now for the big features, put during 1 month the feature, let the users test it, and after we put it in production. I got also a question about truncation in Sophia query. Yes, in fact, Sophia query will be improved all along, in fact, the year, I will say, based on, in fact, on your feedback. And truncation, in fact, is already in development to include it in Sophia query. How is the SCP add-on activated? So it's an extra module. So you need, in fact, to reach out to your key account manager, and in fact, after it's a module to acquire. After it will activate it for all your accounts. That's how, in fact, you activate the SCP add-on. Does the measurement search is captured by the highlighter? It is captured, in fact, in the keyword in context, so it's going to be in bold. In fact, yes, it helps you to identify quickly where the engine identifies the ranges. Are functionalities and data from Orbit Intelligence available via API? It means iOrbit. This is our, in fact, offer for data licensing. So Sophia query, unfortunately not. The measurement search will be, in fact, included into iOrbit. Can we anticipate similar design search via artificial intelligence? Yes, I've got the pleasure to say yes. In fact, right now we are currently specifying, in fact, some project about having an image search for the design. And by the way, a complete rework will be done to make sure the design and the patent will have a similar way of being searched. So we will try to merge a little bit these two databases to provide consistency in coherence in Orbit Intelligence. Is there a way to compare two patent families that are not from the same family? Yes, in fact, these new features will be released, I will say, in May or June. We are currently, in fact, finishing developing this so it's going to be a feature that will come as an extra layer of the existing current patent comparator. Is there a way to include AI summaries in exported files? Not right now, but we are currently also working on a project to make it possible by computing all the summaries for every patent. So once we will have done, in fact, all this computing task, we will make it available to the export. Whether Sophia will search non-patent literature. We are right now working on Orbit Insight, which is another tool of our Orbit suite. dedicated to the innovation and all the people that want to mix NPL and patent information. So currently we are working on some prompt and some algorithm to make Sophia query, I will say, working with the non-patent literature. And once this work will be done on Orbit Insight, we will in fact just reuse this code on Orbit Intelligence. So in fact, yes, it will come maybe in the second part of this year, the second semester. It will also something that will be available in Orbit Intelligence. Are these features only available in Orbit Premium? So no, measurement search, Sophia query, this patent comparator, all that is available from essential to premium. So it means for all of you guys, all the users of Questel. How can we implement 𝐎𝐫𝐛𝐢? And maybe I will finish with to answer this question on live. Right now, 𝐎𝐫𝐛𝐢, you need to have an access to 𝐎𝐫𝐛𝐢. So if you have an access to 𝐎𝐿𝐴NA, we just need to provide you our API key, and you could, in fact, after make the connection between Orbit Intelligence and 𝐎𝐿𝐴NA. So I really advise you to just reach out to your key account manager, and a subject matter expert will show you how it works. So there are a lot of other questions, so I will take all of them and I will answer them, and by email you will get the responses. So thank you very much for your attention, for your participation, for all your questions. I'm looking forward to being live again with new features. In any case, I wish you a good rest of your day. See you soon.